Things are starting to ramp up at this time of year. Kids, young adults, y'all are heading back to school, and you're trying to figure out, what classes am I going to take? Who will my friends be? What sort of things in terms of sports or clubs am I going to put onto my schedule? Parents, you may not be heading back to class, but your kids are. And so you're trying to figure out, between your schedule and their schedule, just what you can shove into any given week. What are the things that you're going to do as a family? And what are some of the opportunities that you're going to have to say no or not yet to? Maybe you're new to this community and you're trying to figure out where you're going to find community, what your budget is going to look like in this new place, in this new season. And even if you're retired, not working for a living anymore, you too are probably trying to figure out, after summer vacations, what does my life look like in this season? This time of year is all about setting priorities. And really, when it comes to our priorities, we've got two options. One, we can be proactive in setting our priorities. Or two, we'll look back 6 months from now, a year from now, maybe even 20 years from now, and discover what priorities we drifted into, what priorities were set for us. If those two options are daunting to you or confusing to you, if you're looking for wisdom or encouragement on what your next season of life should look like, I've got really good news for you. The Bible is not silent when it comes to these matters. There's this beautiful 2-chapter book towards the end of the Old Testament, the Book of Haggai. And the wisdom of this book is so relevant for me and for you today. Because you see, the people that Haggai was writing to aren't a lot different than us. They found themselves in a new place with new circumstances. They were trying to sort through what their priorities were going to look like in the new rhythms of life. Like me, maybe like you, they misplaced their priorities, and they had to deal with the consequences. But the good news of the book of Haggai is that although his people weren't always faithful to him, God was always faithful to his people. He met them in love, he met them in mercy, and in his grace, he revealed to them what his priorities were for their lives. And as the people of God embraced the priorities of God, they came to enjoy the full blessing of God. And that's good news for us today, because you see, even though the people that Haggai was writing to lived thousands of years ago, they're not that much different than we are. On top of that, it's the same God who was at work those thousands of years ago who is at work today. His priorities for his people haven't changed. And his grace, his faithfulness, his mercy continues to be ever present, continues to be new every morning. So if you find yourself, like the people that Haggai was writing to, trying to figure out what will my priorities look like this year, I invite you to come and join Autumn Ridge Community Church over the months of August and September as we study together this wonderful book called Haggai. Join us as a church family as we discover what God has to say about putting first things first.